Hey guys, hey YouTube, how's it going? My name is Scythe, and I am a Evil Dead demon main. Or am I anymore? We'll see after this. Today's video I wanted to do regarding the Immortal Power patch. The patch that came out on February 2nd that brought out the new content of the Immortal Power DLC and all of the changes that came along with it. And how it was, for a demon main, a gigantic disappointment and a source of frustration. Um, but before I go any further, I want to say thank you to everybody that checked out my last YouTube video. It got way more views and positive response than I ever would have anticipated. I am supremely thankful for that. It makes me happy every time I see a new comment on that, and everybody just being nice and very supportive of that. So that encouraged me to make another video here, and hopefully you guys like it. It's going to be in the same kind of format where it's just me talking here. So if you want to have me up while you're playing another game, have me listening in the background, it's just going to be, a lot of me rambling because, I'm not very good at editing stuff to put like gameplay on there for you. But maybe one of these days I'll stop being a scrub and be able to do that stuff. And another thing is I waited a little while. Like, my whole plan was, whenever the patch came out, to play the day the patch came out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then put a YouTube video out on Sunday. The problem is that the patch went so completely sideways that it broke the game. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. It broke the game, and then we had to wait for a hotfix to come out. And so then I was like, okay, well, I'll just I'll wait to make a YouTube video reviewing it until at least they have a chance to fix their mistakes and see what all they do. And then I can maybe test the patch as it was intended, and then make a review of it. And so now I've played some games after the hot fix, and it's okay. So the problem is that this is like the worst time for them to come up with a bad patch. Like, we needed a good patch so bad right now. Like, this is the time where they really needed to deliver, and it didn't happen. And I'm so sad about that, because like I've said many times, I love this game and I love the community, but I'm to the point where I'm about to give up, or I probably am giving up. I'm going to play a little bit more today probably, but I don't see it. And why is that? Well, let me give you some context here. Let me lead you up to this moment whenever this patch comes out, this content comes out. And that is that it is widely regarded in the community, in the Evil Dead community, that Demon is in a bad spot. And it's not just me saying this. Like, it wasn't just my YouTube video. Like, if you guys go look at my YouTube video, I talk about how, my previous YouTube video, I talk about how Demon's not in a fun place to play at the moment. But I'm not the only one that says this. There's lots of, it's pretty widely seen throughout the community that survivor queue times were going through the roof because more and more demons just stopped playing. Way, hardly anybody is playing it on stream. Like, nobody's streaming Demon at all. Like, there's 2 or 3 people still that cling on and play Demon. But most of them said, I'm quitting this. I'm not playing this game anymore. Or I'm not going to play until a patch happens. That's the way I felt about it. I was like, I'm taking a break from this until a new content comes out for it. And so that's kind of more incentive that, hey, whenever you come out with new content, it better be something that brings the demons back. Hashtag bring demons back. Okay? That's what we needed. We needed a win for the demon side. And like I said, I'm not the only one that says this either. If you go to the Evil Dead official Discord, okay, they have their Discord set up pretty cool, to where whenever you look at a topic like Splatter Royale or whatever else, you can then, it kind of makes little subreddits or little forum things in there, which is really cool. It's really set up really well. And then, you get stuff like Like in the Spider Royale, what are your thoughts on the new mode? 20 replies to that. Friends and I love pray for the squad duos option. 53 replies to that. Survivors under the Survivors section. Game mode requests to the developers at Saver. 64 response. Tips for Ruby. 20 responses. Survivor Essentials, 27 responses. Survivor outfit ideas. Here's a big one. Survivor outfit ideas. So they're like, hey, somebody made this and said, 456 responses. Under demons, what's better, mini ashes or hand traps? How is Warlord after the patch? 14 responses. Stuff on the meta, 188 responses. Demon outfit ideas, 68 responses. Demon is unplayable. Change my mind. 1,778 responses. That should tell you that in the Evil Dead Discord, that the most popular topic of conversation is Demon being unplayable. And by most popular topic, I mean by like 100%. Like it has 100 times, over 100 times more responses than almost any other subject in the game. Should tell you that maybe there's some traction there, and you should like maybe look in there and see what's going on. And then there's other stuff like and then there's my video that I made about balance. Somebody posted and said, hey, please send this to Saver Feedback. Everybody should send this to Saver Feedback. And then there's other stuff like ideas to improve demon gameplay, and all of this stuff that goes on. Changes to make demon more fun. Demon play is lame right now. All of this stuff that goes on. Nobody said we need buffs. Like none of them said we need buffs. And then there's other stuff. Car mechanic ideas. All kinds of stuff. Remove the book phase. Nothing under the demon stuff. Like nobody was saying we need buffs to be better. So demons aren't playing because the game isn't fun to play. And shout out to Bozo for saying this. He kind of summed it up really well, and that's demons benefit from there being interaction, and survivors benefit from avoiding interaction, which sucks because avoiding interaction means there's no fun. There's no like, you know what I mean? But I already go on. I rant about this. If you want to know about how I feel about that, go check out my previous YouTube video. And also there was all these balance changes that happened leading up to it. So another little bit of history here for the game is when the game first came out, Demon was widely regarded to be OP as hell. Demons were going on 100+ win streaks. Everybody was talking about, oh, Demon win streak. Everybody was streaming all that, including me. I had Demon win streaks. And demons are really strong, and demons are stomping on people. And so this led to nerf after nerf after nerf. But the problem is there's two problems with that. One, this was before survivors like figured out all the stuff that they did, all the tools that they have at their disposal to deny demon interaction. And also there wasn't really like the MMR was kind of all over the place. You were kind of getting matched against whoever. So then whenever they leveled out MMR and then people figured out what to do, all these tools plus all these demon nerfs like made it to where demons are just getting run over now. And it's not very fun. But nobody is saying that we need to nerf or that we need to buff demons. A lot of suggestions are coming down to giving us like extra tools to like interact with survivors, or like taking away some of the mechanics that survivors have that deny interaction. Nobody's saying, hey, tweak numbers, which is what we got in this patch. So what did we actually get in this content patch? Okay, the first thing that was teased, I think the first thing, I don't know, but the first thing that's listed in the patch notes, Splatter Royale, new game mode, right? This was an intriguing surprise. We've been asking for a new game mode for a while now, the community has. But was this the right time for it? Like, whenever there's such problems with the main game mode, you think making a new game mode is the correct time for it? I don't know, maybe. Who knows? And then at first I was very intrigued by this because the first like tweet thing that intrigued that like teased about it said something about last demon standing. I'm like, last demon standing, you say? Tell me more. So let's check this out. And then we get into it, and it's just like every other battle royale out there, which there's tons of, and I don't play. I didn't buy this game to play a battle royale. I bought it to be a demon. Okay, and everybody in Battle Royale is a survivor. Like, it's literally, like, even if you pick, like, a skin where you're a demon or whatever else, you're playing as a survivor. So it literally benefits people that are survivor mains or know how to play survivor. I don't play survivor. I play demon. I want to play demon. Don't give me a game mode where I have to play survivor. So I don't play it. I played Battle Royale exactly one time, and I was like, oh, this isn't for me. I will go try to play demon now. Hashtag bring demon back. Then there's the new premium content. This is the first time. Oh, and I forgot to mention this too. I'm sorry. I gotta digress a little bit. I got off my script. The other thing about this patch, why we needed this patch to be really good, is because it's the longest we've gone between patches. Because, for two reasons. One, there was the holidays, and devs needed to have vacation too. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Not all the community, because the community is fucking brutal and they're vicious and they're like rah 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 rah. But I get it that you guys need some time too. Plus of where it fell, because it's between seasons, right? So the old season pass stopped. So this is going to be the first content that we're getting that's not part of the season pass. This is the first content where you're like, hey, everybody has to pay for this to get it. And the premium content is a pack where you get Ruby, which is a new survivor, like 3 survivor skins, I think, and the 1 demon skin. So nothing there for demons. Nothing there to entice all these demon players that have left to come back. Battle Royale is not going to bring demon players back. This content is not going to bring demon players back. Because the only thing there for demon is a skin. It's a cool skin. There was a lot of hype for it. Whenever they tweeted the skin, everybody was like, "Oh my god, that skin looks awesome." The puppeteer skin's cool, but I'm not paying $10 just for a puppeteer skin. I'm not going to justify that, and I'm not going to use any other part of that content pat. So that's not for me. That's not for a demon player. Nothing. So that's not worth it for demon mains. Okay, beyond that. Okay, let's look at the balance part. The balance. This is what we need. We need the ASIM to be balanced. And we go to look at the balance content, and man, did whoever write the patch notes make a blunder here. Because the first thing under balance was Demon Rush meta, addressing the Demon Rush meta, taking 100 hit points away from the cars. If you would have just put that somewhere in the balance changes, taking 100 hit points off the cars, it might have been okay. It might have been okay. But for you to say that this is going to impact the meta at all, I thought at the time, I thought the term insulting, that this was insulting. And I thought maybe I'm overreacting to that. But then I heard other people saying the exact same thing, that this was insulting. It seems like you don't know what your meta is whenever you say stuff like that. So it was really negative PR for you to say, to word it that way. It was bad. And as been made fun of constantly. Like, it's been in the Discords. People have been like ragging on this. I'm sure it's been in Reddit. I avoid Reddit, but I'm sure it's been in Reddit. It's been like the latest tweet that came out. People are responding with HP cars. Like it's been a constant source of flame ever since this has happened. It's been talked about on many streams on how, and why is that? Why are we giving them so much flack? If you don't understand, it's because that does absolutely nothing. Does absolutely nothing to the meta. of cars. We have been asking for so many and suggesting so many different things to change the cars, but we come up with all these like suggestions and these ways to change it, from fantastical to simple. Nobody said make the cars have less hit points. Nobody. The most common request was to make less cars, which I think is the wrong response. But the most even at least if they would have done that, it would have made me think, hey, they're listening. But what hit points? Nobody tries to damage cars to death. It's like almost impossible. Let me explain this, because you can't melee them because they're too fast and they don't take any damage if nobody's in the car, which doesn't make any goddamn sense. We don't have ranged attacks, so while they're speeding off, we're just sitting there going, well, there goes the car. So our only way to do damage to the cars is when we possess them, if we can fucking catch the thing. So we have to look and see, where you're going on the road, head it off, have enough energy to possess the thing. We possess it, and then we have to hopefully avoid them doing that thing where they box you in, where they all just dash into the car, which again, that makes no sense. Like, oh, you possess the car, let me throw my that's the tactical choices, to literally dive in front of the car and not get run over or whatever. They take no damage from it. The car takes no damage from it. Your energy runs out, and then your energy goes to zero, and they just hop back in the car. Or maybe they'll have to hit it, or maybe they whip out a gun and shoot it real quick, and it takes some damage, but not enough. But it's enough to make your energy hit zero as the demon. For you to get kicked out of the car, your energy has to hit zero. So then, while they're all piling in the car in 0.2 seconds, you have to run ahead to where you think that they're going, hope there's some fucking energy orbs there, pick up the energy orbs to get enough to possess it, then you run down and possess it again, and do the process over again, and the car still won't break. After 2 possessions, the car still isn't done, unless it's like one of the weakest HP cars in the game, and maybe it took some damage before then, maybe. But 100 hit points doesn't fucking change it at all. It still takes 3 times of running your energy down to zero, and even then, they'll just get out and run to another car that's nearby, because there's plenty of cars along the fucking roads, and you can't stop them because your energy just hit zero. Because you just got knocked out of a car. So you can't drop portals or possess anything or do anything to interact with these fucking people. Because in order to possess the cars, you're sending your energy to zero. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that you think that is going to affect the meta. It's aggravating. It's so tilting. Like, that's why, and this just pissed off so many demon players. And it's like, this is not the time to do that. This is where you wanted to do the opposite. You want to hashtag bring demons back, not be like. Then you have some random survivor nerfs that nobody cared about, nobody asked for. They didn't impact shit. You've got some random demon buffs, and let me rant here for just a second, right? That nobody asked for these demon buffs, but we did get some demon buffs, and that was another thing that was really fucking tilting too. Is like, whenever you first go to mention, hey, this was a disappointment for demon mains, you have survivor after survivor after survivor go, what do you mean? They just buffed demon a bunch. Why are you complaining? Oh, why are you complaining? They just buffed demon. There was all these buffs for demons. We didn't ask for buffs. It's not about the buffs. It's not about tweaking numbers. It's about changing the mechanics. It's what is commonly referred to, if you go look in my comments section, or of my YouTube videos, or in chats, or in Discord, it gets commonly referred to as survivor cheese. I try not to use terms like that, because I try to be more open-minded about this stuff. But it's all of these mechanics that are put in there that is a problem. We like, a few numbers isn't going to matter. And then at me as a necro main, let me slight rant here. I don't typically like to call out specific classes or demons or specific heroes or whatever, but in all of these nerfs, because people were like, they buffed demon through every single aspect. I caught that one. That one pissed me off. But Necromancer got one buff, and it was 5% more balance bar resistance through the possession level up, and it was 5% more spread out over 3 points from threat level 10 to level 20. It's basically you get 5% more on possession levels 3 through 5, which is you get possession level 3 at level 10 and possession level 5 at level 20. So you get through those 10 threat levels, I'll get 5% more balance bar resistance. That's all I got as Necromancer. In the meantime, I was still getting one shot decapitated out of my units with a hunting rifle to the head, and it would decapitate my units and kick me out of and insta kill me. That's what I had going on as a Necromancer main. And then like I try not to complain about specific classes and stuff, but like if I was to go on that kind of rant, I'd be talking about like Hunter Ash, like how that ability needs a fucking rework, because that's another mechanic of just denying interaction. That whole just every so often just being like, nope, you're gone. You know, I hate that shit. Anyways, so slight rant there. But then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go test these buffs, because everybody's like, oh my god, there's all these buffs. And there was stuff in the I wanted to be more involved in the community, and there was people asking in the Discord, hey, you know, how's Warlord looking after all these buffs? Because Warlord got the most buffs, right? I was like, oh, okay, well, you know what, how about I use my old Warlord build, and, you know, I had a very elite focused build anyway. I used a lot of fear. I can use that new mechanic that they put in of the demon powers, and I'm like, you know, demon power still isn't very strong, but hey, that's something that at least that gives us a reason to have demon vision, because demon vision was like one of the biggest jokes. But now, hey, you know, there's some other stuff bundled in with demon vision, and honestly, a lot of that stuff synergizes with what I do as Warlord. And then Warlord got a bunch of buffs, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go play Warlord, and I go to play 3 games of Warlord, and I lose 3 games in a row as Warlord. Now, that's when I stopped and realized that something weird was going on, and I was getting obliterated. Like, all of my guys were just dying instantaneously, and I'm like, what is going on? And I stopped and thought about it afterwards, and I can't think of a single time in my entire time of playing Evil Dead that I've ever lost 3 demon games in a row. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn here. I've never said I'm the best demon. I've always said I'm above average. I play well as demon, but I've never lost 3 games in a row of demon, ever. And I was like, what is happening? And, you know, I was all of my units, like, I was possessing elites, which just got buffed. I had full, to have more hit points, I had full, you know, hit, like, all the buffs. You know, I was possession level 5, I was elite level 5, or poorly elite level 5. I had all the buffs in my skill tree to make them stronger, and they were dying before they could get 2 swings off. And I was like, what is going on? I don't understand. So let's talk about the stuff that aren't in the patch notes on how this was one of the biggest fails ever. And that's that this patch introduced not one, but several, like, game-breaking bugs to make the asymmetrical side of things unplayable as demon. Because all of the leaders, for some reason, something happened in the coding to where they were bugging, like they were applying their their aura buffs too much, or permanently. They were stacking in weird ways. Like, I don't even know what the code was like, but all it was that you could tell was that all the auras for the leaders that buff damage were through the roof, to where everybody was doing insane amounts of damage, and all the survivors were taking advantage of it. All the survivors, like, were playing all the leaders and just shitting on demons. And even though they knew this was bugged and this was an exploit, they were still doing it. So that made it, like, this is the patch that's supposed to be bringing demon players back, and then you're just absolutely shitting all over them with this giant game-breaking bug that got put in. Oh, my camera's forgetting where I'm at. And it's just like, do you guys even want this game to succeed? Like, I'm talking to the Survivor players at this point. But, like, and then how do you not see this coming? Like, I just don't know how this didn't get tested and seen before the patch went live. Maybe you need to think about implementing some sort of PTB or having a crew of people to test all of your game modes. Because there are people in the community that have said that they would do it for free, that would test your patches for free if you wanted to. But like when we needed the biggest win and when we needed to bring demons back, this is what they got to come back to a completely unplayable. Like it was literally worse than it was before. And then a side rant is, again, to the person whoever writes the patch notes, you need more consistency in the way that you write your stuff, because sometimes please, Saber, explain what attack frequency is, because that's a term you've been using for a while and that's not been defined anywhere. What is attack frequency? We have all, as a community, had to like suss out and figure out, like we've talked about it, like we believe what attack frequency is how often the AI will decide to actually run up an attack. That's what we think attack frequency is. Pretty confident that's what it is. That was never explained. We had to kind of figure that out. But it's like they used it in the patch notes several times now, and it's used like under one of the necromancer's like abilities that they have that uses the term attack frequency, and we're like, what the fuck is attack frequency? And then like you put like a number in the patch notes, like your attack frequency was from point blah to point blah. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, explain that. Like, does that mean they're going to attack more often? By how more often? And then the consistency of terminology. Like, in several points, there was very clear ones. There was like, we're increasing the odds of them using Vicious Circle and Twin Slice and Filthy Splatter and stuff like that. And then you put, Henrietta can now cancel their attacks with a meteor attack. What? Did she getting a new attack? Is Henrietta getting a new attack? Cool. What's this? What's meteor attack? And then we had to figure, like, I know the term. I know what that means from other games. Like, I'm like, I'm pretty sure they mean belly flop here, which is what they really meant, was belly flop. So there's sometimes you use the term of the actual ability, and then a couple times now you're talking about meteor attack. You mean belly flop is what you mean. Like, you got to be more consistent. Like, write your, and that's the other thing too, is write your patch notes ahead of time. Write your patch notes ahead of time, so you can proofread them, and then also make sure they're all there, because that was a thing that also got made fun of, which was the patch notes got released, and then more and more stuff got added to them over like the next hour after the patch was out. They're like, oh yeah, we forgot to put this in there, and we forgot to put this in there, and they got to put this in there. Write that shit out ahead of time and go over it. Have someone proofread it. Have someone go, hey, maybe it's not a good idea to say this is something that's going to address the meta. Or, hey, be more consistent. Or, hey, maybe this needs explained. That kind of stuff. So anyways, the game was basically unplayable for almost a week. We had to wait for a while, and that's why I waited for a video to come out. Was I wanted this hotfix to come out to get rid of all these bugs, and they did. They came out and man, there were people that were like, we don't understand any of what this means. Does this mean, like, there were people that were really like trying to pick apart what the patch notes were for the bug fixes. Like, we weren't sure what the hell that meant. Like, the effects of Puppet Master damage done now disappear after unpossessing a survivor inside Asher's Ruby's heart. What does that mean? What does that mean? What is Puppet Master damage done? Like, clearly there was it was a bug, but what was going on? What does that mean? The first attack after a special attack can now damage basic and elite deadites. What does that mean? People were like, what? Does that mean we can damage because it was under demons. So does that mean that we can hit our own demons now? We can damage ourselves? Like there was a lot of confusion with these with these patch notes. I didn't really stress it too much, but there was a lot of people that were like trying to pick it apart because people care. People read these notes and they want to know what's going on, and when it's confusing like that, you're like, huh? I just was like, whatever, I don't care. I'm just gonna go play it, and I went to go play it, and it was as I feared, just like it was before the whole mess. It was all the same stuff of just not being fun, not having interactions, and then on top of that, you have Ruby, who is very strong. Her aura is insane and buffs the shit out of all of the survivors. And I played 4 games. I played 4 games after the hotfix. I played 1 game as each demon. And each time I got completely destroyed at the book. All of my stuff got instant deleted. Because all the games there was Ruby. And of course there should be. Ruby's the new survivor. Everybody's excited to play it. They just paid money for her. They should be playing her. Cool, right? But when you add all of this, when you have all the stuff that I talked about in my previous video that already made Demon not fun to play, and then you add a super strong survivor that makes it to where now you're like, now we don't need to necessarily avoid interaction because we're just going to delete you. All of your units just die instantaneously, which is so much fun. Like book phase is already a source of contention. Because it's not fun, and then it's even less fun because it's like, oh yay, I'm gonna summon a portal, I'm gonna possess a portal, I'm gonna swing a couple times and then die. I repeat. That's it. Like there's no, like, it's not fun. And then your bosses die instantly. Just everything. It's just like we needed a win here so bad. And this was so the opposite direction that it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep playing this game. Like, I'm going to be yet another one that gets added to the list of people, of demons that just stop playing this game. Like, I took a break and I wanted to come back. I was so excited to come back to this game. And I don't know, maybe I'll give it another chance in the future if something else comes out. Like when they come out with Ball, I'm sure I'll be one of the many people that come back to it. Or whoever else. But, I mean, I cannot stress enough that, like, serious changes need to happen if you want the asymmetrical side of this game to succeed. Like, it's not just going to be fixed by tweaking some numbers. It's not going to be fixed by taking some numbers down the survivor side and up on the demon side. There needs to be like mechanical changes. Like even if you don't want to change, I don't even know. Like there has to be drastic stuff, like really big shakeups of maybe the demon skill trees that give us more strategies that we can come into it with and come at it from different ways. Something's got to change. And I'm sorry to be negative. I don't like being negative about it, but I'm just trying to be real here and let you know that, like, we needed a big one. Like there was a gap between patches, and it was just this so long of demon sufferings, and then all of us, like, just players hemorrhaging, and then finally we go to get our thing, and not only is it not what we needed, but it's the exact opposite. It's all of us came back, and that was our experience. We came back to even worse. And then for those of us that had the patience to wait out for the hot picks, it's still nothing's fixed, nothing's changed, and it sucks. It sucks so bad because I don't know. I want it to succeed. But anyways, if any of you guys have any thoughts on it, Leave your comments below. Let me know if I'm overreacting or if you agree. If you like it, share it around. Really appreciate all your support from before. Thank you very much. And then I stream on Twitch. I'm gonna be streaming probably Evil Dead probably later today to try it some more. And maybe I'm just being a negative Nancy. Maybe I'll have some fun today. We'll see. I'll give it a little bit more chance. But if not, I'll go stream some other stuff. Maybe I'll play some Darkest Dungeon. Or hey, if you guys think of another game that you think I should stream sometime or talk about, let me know in the comments. Or come check me out on Twitch. Anyways, thank you very much. Hope you guys have a great day.